Our longest trusted English newspaper since 1898. Now available digitally. Computer. Order the Manila Times Digital Edition. Subscribed. Get the Manila Times Digital Edition for less than 2 pesos and 50 centavos per day when you sign up for 1 year. The Manila Times, news source of choice, trusted since 1898.
Greetings! Thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times for Friday, April 29, 2022. For today's editorial, Avoiding a Coronavirus Perfect Storm. The Philippines has recorded its first case of the COVID Omicron subvariant BA2.12, a 52-year-old woman who arrived from Finland on April 2. The Department of Health or DOH reports that the woman did not have the symptoms for the subvariant and was fully vaccinated, so she did not require quarantining. 9 days after her arrival, the woman began to experience a headache and sore throat, classic symptoms of Omicron. By then, she had visited a university in Quezon City and traveled to Baguio City. She recovered after 7 days of isolation and returned to Finland on April 21. The DOH has assured that 2 of the 9 people she had contact with during her stay here have tested negative, while the others were asymptomatic. The BA2.12 case emerged at a time when health authorities are projecting 300,000 COVID cases by the middle of May. If anti-COVID protocols continue to be flagrantly disregarded, a slight rise in COVID-19 cases had already been noted after Holy Week, when vacationers crammed airports and bus and shipping terminals. Add to that the low rate of booster vaccinations, and we may be seeing a coronavirus perfect storm developing. COVID infections are already up in Metro Manila and several provinces, but the DOH says it has not triggered an increase in hospital admissions so far. The department acknowledges, however, that while it may not generally lead to hospitalization, the BA2.12 is about 5 times more transmissible than the BA.2, the world's dominant Omicron subvariant. Contrary to the popular belief that it is on its last legs, COVID-19 has been rebuilding itself to enable it to overwhelm the defenses offered by vaccines that erode in time. Omicron has mutated into several subvariants that are driving fresh outbreaks in the United States, Europe, China, and South Africa. The subvariants may not be as deadly as the Delta variant, but they still tie up a country's resources that could have gone to rebuilding an economy devastated by the pandemic. In the Philippines, we are trying to shift strategies from fully defeating the virus to protecting the people from future onslaughts. The main antidote against COVID is to vaccinate as many people as possible to build immunity and to see to it that the immunity is regularly reinforced. The government failed to make the grade in both instances. As of March 30, only about 66 million individuals have been fully vaccinated, roughly 70% of the population. Not enough to achieve the desired immunity. Only 12 million have received booster doses. That leaves the rest of the population practically unprotected against BA2.12 infection. This week, the DOH began administering second booster shots to people with comorbidities, considered to be the most vulnerable to infection. Senior citizens and frontline health workers could be next in line. But unless vaccinations for all sectors are ramped up, we could be staring at a worrying uptick in BA2.12 cases, helped along by possible super spreader events during the election season. The DOH is blaming huge campaign crowds, non-compliance with health protocols, and more people on the move for the slight increase in COVID-19 cases. It predicts that a 50% drop in health protocol compliance could result in up to 60,000 new infections per day. It has come to a point where the department has appealed to people with symptoms not to vote, or, if they must, to cast their ballot at an isolated polling precinct set up by the Commission on Elections. But for World Health Organization Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the problem is deeper than lax protocol compliance and unfulfilled vaccination targets. Ghebreyesus believes that the reduction in COVID-19 testing makes us increasingly blind to patterns of transmission and evolution. The threat of a dangerous new variant remains very real, and although deaths are declining, we still don't understand the long-term consequences of infection in those who survive, he says. When it comes to a deadly virus, ignorance is not bliss, he adds. We could add that ignorance, when combined with complacency, becomes a lethal mix, one that must be avoided at all cost. And that's the editorial for Friday, April 29, 2022. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the voice of the times.